Hello and welcome back to another video. In this video, I wanted to talk about the two sides of your mind. I wanted to talk about the nature of the mind that is very two-sided. It's kind of like we show a side to the outside world, and there is this hidden side inside each and every one of us that craves expression, but we keep it to ourselves. This this side is like two sides of a coin. We always see that the philosophers of our times, not just the philosophers, the great prophets that we have, they talk in duality. Most of the prophets talk in duality. There is a certain way to transcend this duality, and there are certain saints who talk about this transcendent nature of ourselves, which is beyond duality. But we see that there are prophets and philosophers who are always stuck in duality. They are stuck in good and evil. They are trying to repress something and they are trying to express something. Even if we look at the priests of our churches and of our synagogues and of our mosques, we see that they project a certain saintliness, but they hide a certain darkness inside them. They repress this darkness inside them. In this world, as human beings, we are not really as white as we think. The world is not really one-sided, it is completely two-sided. A person's madness is very deep, and this madness grows when you project a one-sidedness to the world. When you do not satisfy this desire to be dark, this desire to go against the rules, it comes out in different forms. The more you repress, the more it will become harder to control when it finally comes out. This is very important to understand because we need a reformation in our religions. In fact, it is better to leave the religions and become atheistic and understand this life as a mental and biological phenomena than a phenomena that is created by God. It is better to leave and be away from this divinity than to be in it and project saintliness outwards. It is better to be dark and expose your darkness. It is better to reveal your humanness to others than to project a perfection and a manner of a false mask that we all become capable of wearing as we grow old. It is better to be human than to be a prophet or a saint or a priest. It is better to make mistakes and to show people your mistakes than to strive for perfection. Because humans are not meant to be perfect. They are not meant to be gods. They are not meant to be prophets. They are not meant to be saintly. They are meant to be humans. They are as real as they can be. The relations that you have with people will be as real as they will be. They won't be like your imaginations. They won't be like a perfect ideal of that you have created in your imaginative realm. Man's imagination is something that we all need to look at what is imagination before we lose ourselves in our imagination. Imagination creates desires and creates a craving that is so strong for these desires that you will you will remain heartbroken for the rest of your life if you don't get your imagination in control. Man's desires are something that are of another kind. They are never going to manifest wholly into this physical realm. It will only lead you towards madness, and desires and imaginations are also of those who dream to become prophets, who dream to be good in the society, those who dream to be preachers and dream to be messiahs, those who want to be saviors. They are all lying to you. They have become good at repressing certain things. They have become good at playing this game of duality. They are lying to you by suppressing something that is very human. They are trying to project a godliness and become something they are not meant to become. The imaginative ideal that you have in your mind about yourself is a false ego. It is the culmination of madness, and this strive to become that false imaginative reality, will lead you into extreme madness and mental illness. A man who craves power, a man who starts to crave power and domination, is usually a man who has repressed his humanity, a man who has repressed love, who has stayed alone for a long time, who has stayed alone and looked at this world as if they have been destroying him, as if there has been great injustice done to him by the world. So only such a man will crave power, and only such men will rise to such heights and rule over the masses. They are inherently mad, and we are not mad enough to recognize their madness. Hence, we too grow in madness. But one day you will realize, because you will see that madness in you. You will see that craving for power, that craving for domination arise in you, that craving to become saintly, that craving to say that you are a prophet, that craving to say that you are nothing less than God. When you encounter that craving for the first time, remember that it is a culmination, that it is a beginning of madness. All the prophets who say that they have access to God and only they have access to God are lying to you. It is everybody's right to claim God. It is everybody's right to see God and to encounter God in this life. It is everybody's right to know the truth. Nobody is more closer to God than we all are, even the sinners and even the immoral people of this world. The so-called immoral people of this world are also so much close to God than the prophets and the saints and the perfect ones. Moving towards perfection is moving towards madness. It is a misutility of imagination. It is descending into the realms of imagination and thinking that this imaginative reality of yours will somehow come into this world. Life is double-sided. As long as you are in this life, it is double-sided. And if you are seeing one side of the coin now, the other side will eventually have to show itself. So thank you for watching this video.